Hi, folks. Happy Halloween, Blessed Samhain. It is October 31st. If you're watching this later on in archive, you can still enjoy this reading. And this is a spread that I think would really be valid to do even over the next couple of weeks. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to share with you a 3-card spread. And it will be I'm going to do the reading, but I'm also going to share the spread with you. So if you'd like to try this reading with your own cards, with an oracle deck or a tarot deck, you absolutely can. Hi, Neil. It's so nice to see you here. I see a bunch of people coming on in. You can say hi. Let me know you're here. And hey, Janice, glad you're here. I'm going to try to say hi to everyone, but if I don't get to greet you by name, please know I do see you and I really appreciate you being here. Lori, I'm so glad you're here. Happy Halloween to you. So Halloween has this great history, and there's so many different ways to celebrate it. A lot of us have really great childhood memories of Halloween. TK, nice to see you. But for those people who celebrate this as a spiritual holiday, there are really 3 aspects to this day. Halloween, or Samhain, is the time of the thinning veil, when we have the greater ability to have communication with our ancestors, those in spirit. Hey, Steve, Kristen, Marianne, Wendy, so nice to see you all. So glad that you're here. So we have the time of the thinning veil, of connecting with our ancestors and honoring our ancestors. We have the 3rd and final harvest, where we are grateful for our harvest, and we recognize that our harvest will now have to take us through into the winter. And finally, this is also known as the Witch's New Year. And so I thought it would be fun to just do a 3-card spread, 1 card for each of these aspects. And I'm going to do this reading for all of us, but then if you would like to do it for yourself with your own cards, please feel free and see what other wisdom you can come up with. Karen, thanks so much for being here. So the first is about our ancestors. Now, there's a lot of ways you could ask this question if you're doing it for yourself. You could ask about, what can I do to greater connect with my ancestors? Or what do my ancestors want me to know? Or how are my ancestors supporting me? Hey, Marion, nice to see you all the way from Scotland. Glad you're here. So the ancestor question, I think, since I'm doing this for all of us, I'm going to ask, how can we all better tune in to the wisdom of our ancestors? And hey, Joanne, nice to see you. The deck I'm using today is Michael Bridge Dixon's Orbifold Tarot. This is the mini edition. I really like this deck. So, how can we all better tune in and receive the wisdom of our ancestors? Kay, it's nice to see you here. Okay. The Knight of Fire. In a more standard deck, of course, this would be the Knight of Wands. And so this is really about pursuing it and having passion for it. If you wish to receive guidance from your loved ones in spirit, from your ancestors, you have to sort of ignite that internal fire. You have to feel inspired to do it, and you have to pursue it. Meditate, light a candle, ask that they be with you, and listen to their message. You know, the thing about the Knight of Wands, or in this case, the Knight of Fire, is he doesn't really worry. He doesn't really overthink things. You know, so often when we talk about spirit communication, we come to a place of worry. I want to make sure I'm getting a good message. Am I hearing it correctly? Am I interpreting it correctly? And in all of that thinking, we really lose sight of the message. So in many ways, this Knight of Fire or Knight of Wands just says, go for it. Now, the next question is about harvest. And by the time you get to the third and final harvest, you know, you've really put your energy into creating what you're creating. And what it is what it is. And so now we're really, you know, the question is not so much, what am I harvesting right now? It's how can I best use my harvest? And I think there are a lot of us right now who are feeling like, you know, I'm not harvesting enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough resources. And so this, I think, is going to be a very good question. How can I best use the harvest that I have? And interpret harvest to mean your resources, what you have created, the resources you have created. How can I best use the harvest that I have? And when I do this for all of us, the card that comes up is the Devil. So isn't that interesting? This is a very powerful card and kind of fun on Halloween. But the Devil is interesting too, because the Devil can be about obsessive thinking. And we don't want to put a lot of energy into a lack mentality. The Devil can also be about hanging on to things. And so I think this really says that we have to not be obsessive about it, but we have to be judicious about the way we use our resources. We have to recognize that at this point, our resources need to last us. And how are we best going to do that? How are we going to be judicious in the way we use our resources? Now, the other thing that the Devil asks us is to really look at ourselves. The Devil can very much be about acknowledging your shadow self. And so what are your issues about money? What are your attitudes about money? What are your attitudes about your talents, about your other resources? Is there a way that you are coming at all of this with a negative attitude or with a lack mentality? And does that hurt you? The Devil is really the gatekeeper on the way to spiritual enlightenment. And in a way, I would think enlightenment would always be our greatest resource. So I think this card also asks us and instructs us to really look within and see the ways that we are not appreciating our harvest, the way that we are bringing fear to our harvest, the way that we are not holding our harvest in appreciation. So, finally, hey, Joanne, nice to see you. Finally, New Year. This is the Witch's New Year. And so the question here is about what can I do to cultivate all the best things in this new year? So let's take a look. Another night. This time the Knight of Water, the Knight of Cups. And I would say that's about going forward with love in our hearts. That we will have the best year if we greet this year with love. Love for ourselves, love for each other, love for our higher power. If we express our love, if we speak in a loving way, if we act in a loving way, we will set ourselves up for the best possible year. Hey, Nilsa, it's nice to see you. So there's a spread for you. Those are some cards for you to think about. And that's a spread that you can do with your own cards, your own oracle cards, your own tarot cards. Hey, Linda, nice to see you. So however you celebrate this holiday, whether you celebrate it as secular Halloween, whether you celebrate it as spiritual Samhain, or both, I wish you the happiest of happiest. I thank you so much for being here. I want to remind you that, of course, I am available to you for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, WhatsApp, here in my Palm City office. Reach out anytime. I'm also available for mentorship if you would like to take your own tarot practice to the next level. And you may have noticed, for those of you who are local, that I have officially announced our holiday open house. and that I have announced a number of classes coming up, some free, some premium. So check that out as well. Sharon, nice to see you here. Everyone, I want to thank you so much. Thanks for spending this time with me. If you're watching an archive, I appreciate that too. Go ahead, try this spread for yourself, and if you find that these cards resonate for you, take it as a special Halloween reading. Thank you so much. Blessings to all of you.